If you're getting clapped by a taller fighter, stay out here, throw a random combo. It doesn't need to land, just create one.
What's up guys? Today I'll be talking about PGR's beautified blade-wielding omniframe, Bianca. Oh my god, what is this? Crepuscule? Popsicle? Whatever. The new Bianca. And I ain't religious, but now I might be. Bianca is back as the new dark attacker and light or refugance affix omniframe arriving in the upcoming Through the Tide Home update. And in this video guide, I'll cover her playstyle rotations, rank upgrades, weapons, builds and team setups, her cub, and my pull and build recommendations. And to keep this video concise, I'll cover the main patch highlights here, but for easier feature searchability, other patch additions will have their own dedicated YouTube shorts linked in the pinned comment or description below, including a quick guide on Watanabe's new leap upgrade and the new dark flow rotation, team and builds, a quick feature guide on the new A-rank physical and slash attacker Discord, and a pre-release overview of Veronica. Yes, she's coming out this patch. It's a triple patch, so subscribe so you don't miss it. And please check the pinned comment down below for any updates or corrections because mistakes can happen and timestamps will be provided as usual. If you find this video helpful, drop a like, check out my Twitch, and share this to those who are interested in Bianca or PGR. And I'll try to answer any questions in the comments when I can. Anyways, let us all come together to worship the Church of Bianca. Bianca on paper is not too complicated, it's just her rotation sequence can get some getting used to. I'll cover her in detail first, followed by a TLDR, and then cover some example meta rotations to get you started. As usual, timestamps are available for each section for your convenience. So, like your phone, Bianca has two forms, dark mode and light mode. And she can toggle which version she starts with in the team setup section with this button here. So this is dark mode, this is light mode. So Bianca can also swap forms in battle as well by pressing the core passive bar or G on PC or select on controller. And you can also hold down the core passive button if you want a fancier animation. There's no time stop here though, it's just to farm aura. Alright, so now let's start with the dark mode. Bianca only has red orbs in this form, and ping 3 triple orb pings in quick succession will combo the attack. This will fill up her sword gauge located at the center of the screen. Alternatively, you can also hold down dodge to fill the gauge, and this will automatically consume red orb pings to increase her damage and stacks. Now when the sword gauge is full, you can hold down the blue orb to consume the sword gauge in exchange for ultimate energy. This also generates red orbs and pulls in enemies while granting interrupt resist and iframes of attack. And finally, it finishes with the final attack that grants massive ult energy. Once the gauge near the ultimate button is full, you can use her ultimate finisher to complete her full ultimate rotation. This will consume the gauge on the ult button to increase the ult damage. Bianca will also obtain a charge indicated by the star on the handle of the sword gauge after using her full ultimate rotation once, and after filling up the gauge, you can hold down basic attack to consume this charge and grant a large amount of ult energy, and is used in subsequent fast ult rotations as well as her regular rotation. And if you release the whole basic attack after the red flash, it will proc the damage faster, indicated by the Bianca camera zoom in, and is essential for multiple fast ult rotations at SSS to be inside that amplifier timer. Now in light mode, it's almost the same core gameplay. The only real differences are Bianca only starts with yellow orbs now, and holding down dodge does not consume yellow orbs, but it does take longer to fill the sword gauge than in dark form. It also automatically dodges all incoming attacks, but it won't proc matrix. She also doesn't have the star charge mechanic for the fast ultimates in light mode. Otherwise, the core gameplay is actually simpler. You spam yellow orbs until the sword gauge is full, or you hold the dodge to fill up the gauge. Then you hold blue until the ultimate is up. And then you just ult. And then you basically just repeat that afterwards. Now Bianca will generate light or refugent stacks with her ultimate and consume them when holding down the blue orb in the next rotation. But in the future, there'll probably be a light stack generator for Bianca to detonate with. So to sum it all up, select the light or dark form by setting the default form in the team setup menu, or by tapping the core passive bar, which is G or select. And in her dark form kit, you want to hold down dodge to max out the center gauge. Then hold blue. Then once you have enough for the ult, use it. Spam orbs until the center gauge is full. And afterwards, you can hold basic attack, and when you see the red flash, you can release for more energy for the next ult rotation. Now for the light form, it's even simpler. You want to spam orbs to fill the gauge, and you can hold dodge to fill up the rest of the gauge if needed. Then you can hold blue, and use the ultimate finisher. So Bianca, gameplay-wise, is fairly straightforward, but her rotations can be a bit more complex depending on her rank, but you'll get used to it. So here's some meta rotations to get you started, and note that each rotation will have timestamps for your specific investment. Starting with the SS and SS3 rotation, since Bianca's ult damage here is not quite there, we'll be utilizing Bathlon. So we're going to start with Karenina or Ishmael. So you have Ishmael, you want to do blue orb into yellow orb, and then ult. And we're going to swap into Lilith to do her 2+4 stack double ult rotation. So we're going to do blue orb until the ultimate is up, into her ultimate form, yellow red twice, use the ultimate, use blue orb until the ultimate is up, use the ultimate, yellow red again, and then we're going to do yellow red, and then use the ult finisher, and then we'll swap into Bianca to do her starter rotation. So we'll swap in, hold dodge, hold blue. Now if you have SS3 here, you'll ping the glowing red orb, otherwise just use your ultimate. And you want to spam the red orb to fill up the gauge again. Then hold basic until you see the red flash, let go. Re-ping red, and then swap off. Now, you'll do either Karenina Shire's hold basic attack rotation, or you'll go into Ishmael. So for Ishmael, you would do yellow ping, and then you'll dodge twice, red ping twice, dodge twice again, and then use the ultimate finisher. Then you'll swap in Lilith to do the same 2+4 stack double ult rotation as seen earlier. Then we'll swap into Bianca to do her main rotation. So once we swap in, we'll instantly ult here on Bianca. And then we're going to hold dodge to fill up the gauge. And then hold blue. And then you'll need to do a red ping, either the glowing red ping at SS3 or just the regular red ping at SS to use the ultimate. And then spam red to fill up the gauge. Hold basic and release. Re-ping red, and swap off. And then we'll repeat the Karenina or Ishmael rotation. So with Ishmael, you need to do a blue orb into the ultimate before repeating that fast rotation as seen earlier. And you can also choose to do the kick here if you want. And again, for Karenina Shire, just swap in, hold basic attack, use the ultimate. And Bianca does the main rotation for the rest of the run. So overall, quite a bit of steps, but it's pretty smooth once you get the hang of it. Now for the SS Bianca rotation, she actually does decent damage with her ultimate at this investment, so the Kadi build is now more viable. We can start with, again, Leap Karenina or Ishmael. And again, if you're using Ishmael, you use the rotation as seen on the side here. I'm not going to go through it again. If you want to see the step-by-step for that, you can go back to the SS or SS3 Bianca rotation. It's showcased there. But again, we're going to swap into Lilith to do her 2+4 stack double ult rotation as seen before. Swap into Bianca to do her starter rotation. So we're going to hold dodge, hold blue, ping the glowing red, use the ultimate, spam red to fill up the gauge, hold basic attack and release, and then swap off. Again, repeat the SS Ishmael fast rotation here, or the Karenina's hold basic, whichever one. And you want to see Ishmael's rotation, again, you can go back to the timestamp. We'll swap in Lilith to do her exact same rotation again with the double ults. And now we'll swap in Bianca and use her ultimate immediately. Then we're going to fill up her gauge with red orbs, hold and release basic attack, and use the ultimate. And we're going to repeat this like 2 or 3 more times. And that's basically SS Bianca. Now again, you want to make sure that when you do the hold basic, you want to let go right when the red flash triggers, so you get the optimal timing and fit in as many ultimate rotations as possible during the amplifier uptime. And after you're done with your 3 or 4 fast ultimates, you can swap back into Leap Karenina or Ishmael to repeat their rotations again. Again, note with Ishmael, you need to do a blue into ult before repeating that rotation, and Karenina just holds basic. And Bianca, for the rest of the run, will keep spamming those fast ults, and that's pretty much rotations. Not gonna lie, it's more Lilith than Bianca carrying the team, especially if Lilith is SS3+, and Bianca is not SS, but at least she can do more damage than the Fish. For rank upgrades, at S5, she triggers available QTEs when using her hold dodge, hold blue finisher, and her ultimate. And usually you want to use QTEs right before her ult to maximize the damage. At SS, after using the ult in dark form and swapping off, Bianca will perform off-field attacks every couple seconds, dealing dark damage for a brief period. The ultimate in dark form deals more damage if at max gauge, and when first swapping in, holding down the blue orb will grant a free 3 orb ping and it does more damage, and using the hold dodge also grants a bit of ult energy and does more damage per stack. At SS3, after using the hold dodge in the dark form, her QTE damage is significantly increased for the rest of the battle. During the hold blue finisher, you can ping another set of glowing red orbs to increase the damage of the attack, and Bianca will get the signal orbs back after she uses her ultimate. At SS, Bianca's off-field attacks from her SS have their damage increased, but the major upgrade is the ultimate stack multiplier is now greatly increased, so she now does big damage. And SS3 is more damage to her hold blue orb. So for my rank recommendations, base S rank is kind of rough because it lacks the orbs and energy, so you'll need to basic attack a bit and it's not really ideal. SS allows for proper rotation with the free orbs, some ultimate energy and damage, and the off-field damage as well, which will help with the Bath Law and Shred, and it's the baseline for most players unlocked from free Pancake Skulls. SS3 is not bad, the increased QTE damage is nice, and a bit of extra damage on the hold blue is also nice. The main thing I found was the extra 3 ping during the hold blue helps smooth out her rotation a tiny bit since Bianca needs one more 3 orb ping to get her ult out on the second rotation with SS, but SS3's extra orb ping during the hold blue helps speed this up a little bit and simplify the rotation. So mainly it's a quality of life upgrade for light spenders or if you have her available in the S rank selector. Otherwise, not really a high priority SS3. But SS is a major upgrade. The ultimate damage multiplier increase is pretty massive and allows you to start spamming ults like my credit card at Kurofest. Please send help, I haven't financially recovered from that. And it's a strong stopping point for heavy spenders. But the weapon is a higher priority than SS3, so let's talk about that next. So is Bianca locked to her 6-star signature weapon? Well, mostly. She lacks the orb pings without her 6-star weapon, so after the first ult, she'd need to basic attack a lot more with the 5-star weapon to get enough orbs to fill the gauge before swapping off. Basically, it limits her to 1 ult rotation, with the orb downtime forcing her to either swap off right after she ults, or basic attack spam. The 6-star weapon grants her the needed orbs beyond that first ult, as well as some more damage. So the TLDR is that the 5-star weapon is usable as a temporary option, and it is free by crafting it from the login box, but 6-star weapon is highly recommended for proper rotations and to minimize downtime. And for her 6-star weapon resonance, deadline timing is actually not needed for once, as she has enough orbs generated already for all her rotations, so prioritize Afterglow, Matrix Lightning, and Incandescence if you got the extra resonances for the increased attack. Now let's cover team setups and builds, starting with the Dark team. Ideally, Lilith is the leader here due to her higher and faster damage output compared to Bianca, and the starter is usually a SS3 Leaped Karenina or a SS Ishmael. Now Bianca will always be running her signature 4-piece set, Jean, for her specific damage multipliers, and for SS and SS3, Bianca's ult hits like an old man without Viagra, basically not very hard, so for once, you'll want 2-piece Bathlon to increase her dark damage instead, and harmonized Bathlon for the increased dark shred. For SS, Bianca's ult does significant enough damage to justify running everyone's favorite 2-piece Kadi, and here your harmonized Kadi for the increased ult damage. As for Resonance, plus 15 attack on the top slot, and ultimate on the bottom slot for both builds, and hypertune all memories, starting with the bottom row. As for Infinitas Awaken, choose the red orb, and as for Lilith, we'll be running 4-piece Barcelo and 2-piece Kadi, and you want to harmonize Kadi for more damage, but Guinevere is also an option if Bianca's a higher rank such as SS, and you'll want plus 15 attack and ultimate signature move Resonance. And for the last slot, SS3 Leap Karenina Shire works, running 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece Gloria with Einstein harmonized, or just 2-piece Einstein if not harmonized, and you want to resonate class skill here. Ishmael also works if you don't own an invested Karenina Shire, and honestly, compared to Ishmael, Karenina is not really as safe of an investment, especially for newer players without her, so you can run 4-piece Sawdoth and 4-piece Da Vinci harmonized on Ishmael, or 2-piece Einstein if she's not harmonized. And here you can use ultimate or class skill resonance. And as for the budget team alternatives, well, Lilith is a free unit from her permanent event along with her 6-star weapon, and you could attain further copies of her from the Battle Pass voucher shop, so I highly recommend trying to get her to SS3, but if you don't have her yet, Vera Rosen can also work, just put 4-piece Da Vinci on her, and 2-piece Guinevere or 2-piece Einstein. And if you don't have an invested SS3 Leaped Karenina Shire by now, which usually only veteran players do, or a SS Ishmael, an A rank 21, or Kamui Tenebron can also work as a 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece Einstein holder, or as a 4-piece Bathlon holder if someone else is holding 4-piece Da Vinci. Just make sure that Bianca is the leader here. And as for the Light, Glow, or Refulgence Affix team and builds, currently Light Affix specific content doesn't really exist, but the Light Affix can be a budget alternative for Plasma or Lightning content, but with a lower damage multiplier, at least currently. So if you want to use her in Light mode right now, You can run 4-piece Jean and 2-piece Einstein for the light shred, as she's the only current light damage dealer, and harmonize Wild for the extra plasma and lightning damage. Then just slot her into any lightning or plasma team, like Nanami Star Trail on her classic 4-piece Herschel and 4-piece Heisen harmonized, and Ishmael or 21 Pharaoh on 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece Guinevere harmonized for the lightning team. Or you can stick in Lilith with 4-piece Da Vinci, 2-piece Einstein, and Guinevere harmonized for plasma. Now for her pet, the jellyfish. Its active skill attacks enemies in a straight line, and its passive skill increases the base damage of the ultimate finishers, and it also does joint attacks during the hold blue. But is it worth pulling? Well, it's mainly there for the ultimate finisher damage buff, but with her ultimate damage already being pretty low pre-SSS, and the active skill being as useful as Lucia is in the kitchen, and not providing significant crowd control or grouping, honestly the pet is pretty skippable if you don't have the spare pet tickets. As for my pull and build recommendations, Bianca is the new premier dark and light affix attacker that sends Lamia back into the ocean, retiring her from the dark team. Lamia's damage is falling off for the amount of field time that she takes, and Bianca's damage blows her out of the water. But you may notice that Lilith does similar if not more damage than Bianca at equal investment, and since Lilith's rotation is a lot faster than Bianca's blue orb damage ramp up, Lilith practically becomes the main DPS, with Bianca as more of a sub DPS, especially for stages like Pain Cage, where Lilith kills everything in 2 to 3 ult rotations, and you might not even need Bianca on the field. But since Lilith does run out orbs, you will need to swap off of her after 2 or 3 ult rotations, regardless, for Bianca to fill the downtime. So definitely recommend pulling and building Bianca if you have the black cards for her debut banner, and she will be the premier DPS for the eventual light affix content in the future. But for players who absolutely have no black cards, the dark team is still serviceable with the budget team mentioned in the Lilith video with Star Trail and Lucid Dreamer, but don't expect them to be topping the charts. And also highly recommend to grab Bianca's weapon for a smooth function. The pet is kind of optional though. And who doesn't want a Saber Booba pillow to lay on after a long session of Warzone? And for patch updates, outside of Discord and Veronica's debut and Watanabe's Leap, in this triple integrated patch, we'll also be getting 5 more team slots for a total of 15, so now you have some room to slot in Nanami Star Trail and even more teams. You'll also get another free S-Rank selector up to Jushukra, and also another guild expedition, so get your runs in for those sweet 6-star weapon resonance shards. Ajahn Automata for NA guild, just a quick little plug there. We'll also be getting a free swimsuit Shitavi skin from the login reward, an alternate red VFX Bianca skin, a fire Lucia getting a water VFX skin, a traditional wife gacha outfit for Selena, so she can't get one up by Lucia's wedding skin. I mean, that's why we got 2 hands, right? And Wansha's VFX skin, which looks sick AF. And also the new True skin. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. I was somehow able to get this out while being gone for the entire month, basically, traveling to China for Kurofest, then to Boston and New York City almost right after. But I guess you can always find time on a beach, on a plane, or in a hotel, just with a little bit of jet lag. Anyways, dedicated videos for the new A-Rank Discord, as well as Watanabe's Leap upgrade will be linked down below for future reference. And with Global being caught up to CN servers, expect Veronica's upcoming guide to be a little less detailed and subject to change since I have less time to research, playtest, and learn any intricacies. I think she came out legit like 2 days ago as of me recording this, and she's still not really finalized yet since she's going through some changes, so stay tuned for that guide. Join the Discord to get notified for video guides and streams, or just ask questions in chat. Join me on Twitch to get questions answered live, and drop a like if you found this video helpful, a dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more future guides for future characters, and a huge thanks to Rydal, Setsu, Empress, and all my helpers for proofreading the guide, and my editor Psyche for the hard work as always. And of course, my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers and all the viewers for their continued support. I would not be able to go to Kurofest with all the support that you guys have shown me, and so I really do appreciate it. And yeah, take care, never spend out of your own means, good luck on your pulls, have fun, and peace late gamers.